It's me. And tonight I watched The Substance. This was a weird one. Now this one I was looking forward to a lot. It got just a ton of rave reviews on the subreddit, which is how it ended up on my list. Everyone was talking about this movie. And I had not heard of this movie, I had not seen a trailer, I had not seen a poster, I knew nothing about what it was about or who was in it or anything related to this movie. I just saw it popping up on the horror subreddit constantly and everyone raving. So I said, okay, I'm going to add it to the list, and I went in entirely blind. Right off the bat, Demi Moore, Dennis Quaid are both in this, and both absolutely wonderful in their roles. Those are both, actors that people have known for a long time. They're both great, as they always have been. And then Margaret Qualley, I want to say is how you say her last name. She was in the movie too, as essentially a young Demi Moore, and she was also great. Onto the movie itself, though. Wow, this was something. Now, I'm sure if anyone's watching this in the comments, you can let me know if I'm wrong or if I didn't interpret it the way you did, but to me this mostly seemed like a big metaphor for just societal pressures on women and how they have to look and how they can age out of Hollywood or age out of being what people would traditionally consider beautiful or various things like that. And they kind of hammer that home with someone straight up saying, like, you're too old to be pretty or in this role, or once you hit 50 it all goes away, or a beautiful woman should always smile, like all that kind of shit. So that really seemed like the angle they were going for, but they made that metaphor with some just grotesque body horror, and in the end just straight up Cronenberg monstrosity. Visually this movie was absolute delight. Not just for the gore and the insane, disfigured monster body horror incredibleness, but even just the set deck and some of the angles and the way they did things, visually there was a lot to take in and it was all great. Also, if you're someone that likes nudity, aka a human, this movie has all of it. Just all of it. So if you want to see just all of the boobs and the butts and even some pubic hair if that's your thing, this movie has all of it. So there's that. But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot to see and a lot to take in, and it was great. It was very well done. It was a longer movie. I want to say 2.5 hours, but it didn't feel like it was stretched. It didn't feel slow. I enjoyed everything as I was watching it, and I was on board. I felt like it was paced well. I was never like, oh man, can this get over with, or can we get to the next thing? Like, I was on board with everything they were doing, even though it did take longer than a lot of the horror movies I've done this year. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just want to keep gushing. I don't think I have anything bad to say about this movie. I think all the rave reviews I saw for it were right. Like, this was good. It's not your traditional horror. It's not like a slasher or anything like that. There's no monster or looming evil. There's no real threat of death. The main characters do both die, but like it was preventable. There wasn't something that was going to kill them. It was more like psychological horror, just like I said before with the metaphor, just going through, what women have to go through with all the pressures they have and how they have to be beautiful and they have to meet these demands and they can't take a day off from being perfect. But they take that daily stress that half the freaking population feels and turn it into a horror plot, and it just, I don't know, it works. Like, you get the message clearly, but also just as a movie with a crazy premise and just a big disfigured monster thing, like, it also works. Everything here was just really well done. Another thing that stuck out to me that no one watching is going to understand, but there's an actor that I've worked with, Chad Ridgely. He's not just an actor, he's directed some films, he's acted alongside some Hollywood folks. He was in a mockbuster of not quite Transformers with Tom Arnold. Um, but Dennis Quaid's energy in this film is exactly the energy he had in a short horror film I worked on with him. And it was really weird to see what is essentially the same character in two different movies from two different actors, but it's just, I don't know, it struck me. Again, none of you understand this. I'm just saying this for myself, basically. But it was kind of funny watching this character, just thinking to a character I saw acted out in another film I was in. Um, yeah, it was just weird. That's all. There's nothing to add there. The one thing I will add, Chad Ridgely, look him up. Good actor, good director. He also does some horror stuff. But yeah, he's great. Look him up. If you're out there and you want to cast not quite Dennis Quaid in your movie, Chad Ridgely. But that was a needless plug for an actor that doesn't even know I'm going to mention him, so I'll just move on. And really, I don't know what else to say here. Everything was just great. This is what I want out of a horror. Well, I still have slashers. I still have traditional, just the monsters killing everyone movies. So this doesn't stack up to like a Child's Play or a Hellraiser or something like that. Like it's not the same vibe as that. You know, if I'm in the mood for that, this wouldn't do it. But if you just want a good psychological horror, just something a little twisted or freaky, or if you just want to see a lot of gore or a lot of boobs, this will absolutely hit the spot. This does a lot of things right. It is just an absolute blast to watch, and yeah, I really recommend this one. If you can, now that I've spoiled the entire thing and told you everything about the movie, if you somehow are watching this part of this video and none of the rest of the video before it, what you should do, go into this movie blind. Or, since I have spoiled it for you, find someone else that you know that likes horror and has not seen this video. Don't worry, that's pretty much everyone. And have them watch this movie blind and watch them. Because it is a trip. There's a lot here, and I promise you do not know where the movie's gonna go, especially at the end. It is just bananas. Yeah, I think that's it. I enjoy it. It's fun. Definitely a movie I would recommend. Go check it out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.